Hello everyone, as usual, I will analyze how BTC will perform this morning and whether this is not investment advice, continue to pull back here or will it rise, so you can analyze and know how to enter trades more effectively. You must take full responsibility for your own ability for my trades. We look at the candlestick chart of the days and BTC's view on whether we should go long or short, and why that is the case. If we go long or short, you need to explain why we are taking that position, and at what point we might close it. Depending on the situation, we need to explain where the losses might occur, and why. These are the 4 factors I will analyze for you in my daily analysis videos. Today is July 29th, so let's analyze. Can go long or short. Today, we see that BTC closed with a green candle with a strong upward momentum. It pulled back from the 62K range and surged up to 64K. With such strong momentum, we see it has formed a reversal pattern, indicating a return to an upward trend. However, we will see if it continues to rise or if it will pull back a bit and then go down again. Let's start analyzing. As of today, we see that BTC has formed a strong reversal candle with upward momentum. It can be called a reversal pattern. Meanwhile, looking at USDT.D on the daily candle, we see it has formed a reversal candle and may continue to go down. Yesterday, it rose from the 8.45% range to 8.62%. And we see that USDT.D is currently at 8.17%, while BTC is at 63,950. And will it further? Let's start analyzing the H4 chart. Here, what do you see on H4? On H4, we see a resistance area here. This is where we draw a resistance line. Now, here is the peak. This is the peak that broke through. And you can see it has reached this peak. At the 8.6% range, it reacted and went down. Alongside that, BTC on H4 shows it has reached the support area of 62.8K. which I shared with you in previous videos, indicating it is creating a price reaction and moving up. If you noticed, I previously shared that BTC has completed its Elliott wave push. It has completed an Elliott wave push and reached 67,000. And when it completes the Elliott wave push, it has 2 trends. One, it will pull back to this area, pulling back to the 63,800 range and continue to create a new wave. For the next push, it will continue to create the next push to a new high. If it continues, the third push, meaning it continues with 3 waves. When it completes the push, there are 2 scenarios. One is that it will pull back and push the next 3 waves. If it continues to push, we will see BTC heading towards around 70,000. Under what condition? The condition is that it must create a peak pattern to push higher. But we have seen the first condition is that it continues to create Elliott waves going up, but it has not completed, meaning it only touched this point. It touched the second peak here and then dropped down, and here we see that it did not rise to create a higher peak structure to continue pushing. The next Elliott wave, and it has formed a BTC model of lower highs and lower lows. See that it is not creating a higher high pattern. If it comes back to this point, around 63,800, of lower highs and lows for the next peak. At 67,500, we will see a peak structure, higher lows, and it will continue the next Elliott push. But it has broken down as it tried to push up here. And it couldn't push higher anymore, and it dropped back to around 62,800, which shows that at this point, the Elliott push wave has ended, and it has created if the pattern of lower highs and lows continues, we can expect it to push down further like this. At this point, its wave structure will move, like this. This means wave 3 here has reached the area of 62,800, which is our expectation. It will continue to push up, and right now it's moving up in this wave 4, which we are expecting to be around 64,500 to 65,000. Then it will drop back down to around 61,000 with the pattern. For BTC, we are currently expecting it to retrace from 64,800 to 65,000 and simultaneously USDTD is forming a structure with this peak, this low, and this peak. We expect its next low to retrace to 8.4%, after which it will rise to around 8.8%. And, with the support at the low, we expect USDT.D to retrace to 8.4%, which means BTC is expected to retrace to 64,600 to 65,000. And if it can rise to this level, it means USDT.D has retraced to 8.4% in this wave, and it will push further to 8.8%. If it reaches 8.8%, then BTC will drop to around 6 to 11,000. Looking at this, if we observe the pattern, BTC on H4 shows lower highs and lows, while USDT.D, with its pattern of higher highs and lows, indicates that we expect USDT.D to retrace to 8.4%. This means that BTC will recover to 64K, encountering 7x up to 65K. When looking at this structural model with H4 for BTC, the peaks and troughs are appealing, and USDT.D on H4 is at a peak, higher troughs. So our view today is 2. We will wait to short, right? The peak right here, this peak. This peak. This peak. This is a breakout, so we draw a line through it as a resistance point here. And if there is a wave structure of peaks and troughs forming, then the next peak will be around this area, from 64K8 to 65K. This coincides with the point where we drew the ELS wave going down earlier. So we are waiting for it right in this resistance area, 64K8, 65K. When it reaches 64K8, 65K, we will switch to H1, meaning at this area we will open a short position. And where is that? At 64K8 we will open a position in the area of what? 65K5. Why? It could go up. It could push up very quickly to sweep liquidity. It could spike up and then pull back to sweep liquidity. That could also happen. So at the 64K8 area is where we will enter a position. And the next area is around 65K5. This is the area where we split into 2 positions, and we can use 1 to 2% of capital for 1 position. Right? And if we can enter a position, where will we take profit? According to its ELS wave structure. Here. According to the structure, there are lower peaks and troughs. This peak, this trough. The next peak is somewhere around here, right? And the next trough must be around here. From 61K to 61K5. That is our take profit area. 61K5 is right here. 61K8 is right in this area. These two troughs, 61K8 and 61K. TP1 is 61K8, TP2 is 61K. If it follows the structure called lower peaks and troughs, it will run like this. With this structure, we will wait at this point. Find the entry point here. Now, what if it breaks this peak? That means at this moment, BTC right now, this wave is moving up, not to 64K8, but directly to 65K5. Is that possible? It is still possible. Because if we go back to the structure of lower peaks and troughs, as long as it doesn't break this peak, if it breaks this peak, then the trend of lower peaks and troughs will be lost. If it breaks this peak, if it breaks this yellow peak, then the structure of lower peaks and troughs will be lost. At that point, it will become a bullish trend again. If it breaks this, then it will rise back up to the area of 66K8 and 68K. So we need to observe if it is still at 64K8-65K and it forms a reversal candle pattern to have a higher win rate. Then when it reaches the 64K8-65K area, we will go back. We will open short positions and we will open short at H1, going back to H1. And we see in the H1 area from 64K8 to 65K, there must be a pattern to reverse. Then we enter the position, and the win rate is higher. Just don't jump in. As soon as it touches the 64K8 area, guys, just enter the position immediately. That's not advisable. Because it depends on whether it is forming a pattern of lower peaks and troughs at H1 as well as H4. H4 has already formed two lower peaks and troughs, and H1 is also creating a pattern of lower peaks and troughs. But when it reaches the 64K8 area, can we enter a short position? Where is this area? First, we only enter a short position when it has a reversal pattern. Reversal. The reversal candlestick pattern is like this spot here. Open a position. A hammer candle or a doji confirms. A thumbs up. This reversal doji, this confirming doji. That's it. So when it reaches the 64K8 area up to 65K, we need to observe if it has a reversal candlestick pattern. Only then will we open a short position, which we will call the first order at 64K8 and the second order at 65K5. And if it breaks this point, it will lose that downward structure on H1 as well as H1, and it will rise again and rise back very strongly, possibly up to 6768. Right now, it's just fluctuating like this, but with a high probability, it will definitely rise to this point at 64K8 up to 65K. When it reaches there, we will look for a reversal pattern, which means it shows it cannot break through this resistance area, and it still follows the structure of lower highs and lower lows. So the next peak it makes here, this point is not reasonable. This is what we would call its next peak, according to the lower highs and lower lows structure following the Elliott wave, right? This is a peak, and this is a low. And then the next peak here, this peak is not reasonable. It's too short. So at this point, it makes sense. Then it drops back to the 61K8 area, which is TP1, 61K8. TP1 is correct. TP2 is 61K, which is in line with the structure of lower highs and lower lows, as well as the higher lows of OPPO FDTD. We observe and summarize the view for today. We will hold the shop view and the entry point here because it is in the lower highs and lower lows structure. And also, USDT.D is showing a higher lows structure. So we need to wait at 64K8 up to 65K before we will open a position. But if we can open a position, we must observe H1 for a reversal candlestick pattern at H1. Then we will open one position at 64K8, the second at 65K5, and the average will follow its wave structure. It will go back to 61K8 and 61K. And where do we cut? If we enter at 64K8 and 65K5, we will cut at a certain point, which means we will cut here around 66.286. That is the area we will re-enter, so the summary view. For today is that we will go short, confirming the hammer candle. We will go short in the range of 64,800 up to 65K. If there is a reversal pattern, it shows a failed buy or a successful sell. That turns back, then the sell must be successful for it to drop down like this. Set down to the 61,800, 61,000 range according to its wave structure to hit the low. That is my analysis for today. If you find it useful, please subscribe to the channel and give me. If anyone has any questions, please comment on this video, and I will answer everyone's questions. Thank you all.